The reason why the painting that people laughed at became the standard of modern art. Hello, please subscribe and like Campbell's soup can. Isn't this just a soup can? No, this is a provocative statement that turned the art world upside down. Today's main character is none other than Andy Warhol. Following the life of Andy Warhol like a story, we see that his life itself was already an experiment in modern art. He was born in 1928 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, USA. His name is Andrew Warhol. Growing up in a poor Slovak immigrant family, he was frail as a child and often had to spend time indoors. What filled his world at that time were things more stimulating than people: magazines, movies, and advertising images. In the future, his art will begin with those images. Showing talent in art, he studied commercial art at Carnegie Tech and headed to New York after graduation. At that time, New York was in an era of explosive growth in the advertising industry, and he quickly found success as a magazine and advertising illustrator. In 1987, he underwent surgery due to a gallbladder problem. He had been suffering from, at that time, it was a relatively common surgery, but his condition deteriorated rapidly. During the recovery process, he suddenly passed away due to cardiac arrhythmia, irregular heartbeat. The age at the time of death was 58. In the 1960s, Americans expected sophistication when they visited art galleries, but someone brought a can of soup from the grocery store and said, "This is art." The reason this was shocking is that this work is a series composed of 32 canvases. But the point is, they all look the same. It feels like a copy-paste. There's almost no emotion. There's hardly any brushwork. People's reactions at the time: is this art? Isn't this a joke? But Warhol says this: "I eat the same thing every day, so I drew the same thing." The real core intention, the question Warhol posed, was just one: can mass-produced items also be considered art? At that time, America was in an era of explosive advertising, consumption, and branding, and Campbell's soup was a part of everyday life. So is it advertising? Or art, it seems. Like advertising, and it seems like art, the answer is both. Warhol intentionally blurred the boundaries. How do you see this? That's the question I posed. Twist, this work was not widely noticed at first, but now it is considered one of the most important works in art history, and is mentioned to be worth hundreds of millions to billions. Warhol doesn't stop here. This time we will create a Marilyn diptych. Marilyn Monroe's face is repeatedly reproduced, with just the colors changed, resulting in dozens of prints, people's reactions. This is just a billboard. Is this really art? But Warhol's answer was clear. Modern society is the era of replication. Warhol was more of a person who copied modern society than an artist. This is what he saw in the world: the same advertisements, the same brands, the same images. So he brought them as they were. At first, it was met with laughter, but as time goes by, the situation changes. This work ultimately becomes a standard for contemporary art, marks the beginning of pop art, enters art museums around the world. Ultimately, what this work conveys is one thing: does art have to be special? And it asks us, are the things you see every day really that ordinary? When you see a soup can at the store, it might look a little different today.